Here's your host, Luke Anderson.
Hey, happy Root Canal Appreciation Day, all you beautiful radio listeners. Thank you for dropping in our little happy hour. We appreciate you listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, here's a hand gesture just for you. Welcome. YouTubers, feel free to hit us up on the chat feature. If you're listening on the radio through 105.1 The Fan FM, 1080 AM, online at 1051thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, or you just ask your smart speaker to help you celebrate Dennis Rodman's birthday. And this is what you got. Use the fan text line, 503-2GO-FAN. That's 503-864-6326. Use it. Use the text. Use the chat to share your thoughts, ask questions, solicit advice, or answer me this, dear listeners. Do you appreciate lowercase? Casey, do people know what kind of work you're putting up to the very last minute to get just a simple request? Monday, you rolled out a new open for PGA Championship Week, which we're very excited about. Made a couple little critiques on it. So you made some changes to it.
1.0 turned to 2.0 turned to 3.0.
So I said, this is okay, but it wasn't exactly what you hoped it could be.
You know it could have been better.
And you knew it could have been better. So you took the time to do that. But I don't think people realize what kind of panic you were in before this show if I don't point it out. So if you want to share with the fine folks that are listening what your afternoon was like, you were kind of a little whiny, a little freaking out. I don't know what your mood would have been if you were not able to get that open on in time. What happened?
I would have been very butthurt. Thank you to our beautiful people in IT. Shout out Josh. Stuff just not uploading. Just stuff not
computer
working.
Just wasn't
computer
working.
Just not computer. And thank God we got it in time with minutes to spare.
Here's what I want to say.
Shout out Josh.
You did not give up. I think you told me in my ear maybe 2 minutes before we came on, if that long, that you got it. So thank you for putting in all the hard work. I put in some hard work myself today. You don't have to thank me. It's okay. It's okay. The Take Your Pick poll is already up. It's ready to go. You know what I did not realize until this morning? It's Major League Baseball rivalry weekend.
Really?
Yes. It is littered with all of the best rivalries in baseball. They went top to bottom. They did this last year, and I must have missed it. I don't know if the games were played in San Diego, but that may have been when I made my annual trip to the Vetter Cup. I did not make the road portion of it. I have secured 2 tickets for this weekend in Seattle, so I'll try to be there on Sunday. But I think I might have been so enamored with the trip to San Diego last year that I may have missed it. You're getting all of the great matchups. Subway Series, the Crosstown Classic.
We get
You're getting
our
the
first
Battle of
poop
the
game.
Bay. You're getting the Border War. You're getting what now?
You get our first poop game.
We have the poop games are being played. I wanted to give you credit. I didn't know that was a thing. That is not just a you and your brother thing. That is a true thing that internet was aware of. So we get the poop game, or the poop series. We've got the off-road challenge. We've got the freeway series. We have the Battle of Boston. I mean, it just goes on and on. There are 15 series this weekend. Each one of them is designated as the team's either interleague rival or largest rival. There's a few series that will not be interleague, the Poop Series being one of them. The Border War between the Detroit Tigers and the Toronto Blue Jays is, of course, not interleague play. But they went across the entire league, and if you thought the Vetter Cup was great before, just throw it in the middle of rivalry weekend. You look at the scoreboard, it's all guys looking across town, across at their rivals, going, hey, I know it's been a long time since the Braves played in Boston, but this means something. Let's go. So I'm pumped. I'm pumped for that. And if you are pumped for that, play along.
This looks like a great lineup for the weekend.
It doesn't get any better. It's literally rivalry week. If you did this in the NFL where you had designated rivalries and every single one of those played in the same weekend, your head would explode. This is the baseball equivalent. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So they did this the same weekend in May last year that they did it this year. So I assume this is something that Major League baseball is doing. Another change.
And the rivalries that had been, like talked about in the past, just because of the historic rivalry, they're actually really good matchups. I'm looking at the Cubs-White Sox game. That'll be very interesting.
You are a Mooney fan through and through. Murataka, when he goes out there and rips a home run off of who they signed today, Liam Hendricks or somebody. Like the a lot of injuries with the Cubs, even though they've been kind of red hot to start the season, so they're adding pitching to it. But yeah, no, that should be great. The Mets are trying to figure out how to dig themselves out of the hole that they've placed themselves in. The Yankees have been playing well, but it sounds like they might have an arm issue. So
didn't look good today.
Not great. Not great. Everything starts tomorrow. Everything wraps up on Sunday. And then there's 14 different games being played on Monday. So if we go to a tiebreaker after this, the Take Your Pick should be fun. If you want to play early, go to @FanHappyHour or go to my personal Facebook page. You can jump on right now and make your picks for Take Your Pick. You can do it early. You're welcome, kids. We'll do that tomorrow. I think my sister will be able to make it into the studio. Her office is not terribly far from us. So we're in talks. We're in contract negotiations to see if we can get her in studio. So
is she going to tell some embarrassing Luke stories?
Probably not, because she knows that I have this platform, and if she were to say anything, she'll be here for 12 minutes. And then I have a lifetime to go back at those. So, no, I think we're going to stick to baseball. I mean, she's such a huge fan. I mean, I get scoreboard updates from her son's baseball games every day. How the Vancouver, Clark County, Evergreen Little League, Aqua Sox do. I get a score update every day. So I think she's all business. I don't think she's going to come in here and half-ass it.
She means war.
She does like to win. So her and I right now, the reigning champions of the Cornhole Championship that is played every August. So I think we're on good footing. No point in trying to embarrass me. Again, I have all the runway in the world to embarrass her. I would never use that. So if she starts a war, I guess I'm game for it. But I don't think she wants to do that.
It just sounded like you're holding a box of matches with a lit flame right next to it.
Do you have siblings?
I got 2.
Do you think they would be smart enough to come on here if they had 8 minutes to talk to be like, let me tell you the worst things about you, and then knowing that this is your platform on an everyday basis?
Yes, they would, because I only have a few minutes each day.
Yeah, well, sure. But if they came on here and absolutely trashed you, I would give you the entire next show. Like I would just cede my time to you. And you have 2 brothers?
Yeah, I'm the youngest.
But see, they might try to pull that because boys are dumb. My sister probably smarter than to do that.
Probably.
I would think. You know what? Whatever. If you want to do something smart, if you're listening right now and you're like, how do I be as smart as Luke's sister? Sign up for the Fan Golf Classic. It's June 23rd. It's presented by Toyota. It's at Langdon Farms Golf Club. The afternoon rounds are already sold out, so listen, you've already been delaying, but maybe you're new to the station. You just found us. You were cruising through the FM dial, and this is your first time here. Well, you loved it. You want to be more involved with the Fan? Sign up for one of the few morning round spots that are still available. There is activations and tastings around the course. There's the infamous Angels Envy Bourbon Par 3 6th hole, where all the Fan hosts will be hanging out. Dirt and Sprague, Danny and Patrick, myself, Isaac and Suk, all posted up to admire or heckle your shots. Of course, we will keep you well fed. This might be the best part of it. The post-round meal by Matt's Barbecue. Matt's Barbecue is kind of awesome. Head to 1051thefan.com, click on the Fan Golf Classic logo for more information or to sign up today. The Fan Golf Classic is presented by Toyota, brought to you by our friends at Vulcan Design and Construction, Henderson and Daughter Windows and Doors, George McCoy at Warren Allen Attorneys at Law, Battery Exchange, Mastro Del Bel Tequila, your neighborhood restaurant group, Philbrook Law, 1-800-DIVORCE, Roto-Rooter, A-Legal, Mezcal, and Window Nation. I don't know if we have time to talk about what I wanted to talk about. 6 straight wins for the Mariners. I just looked at their schedule. You know the difference between 9 straight wins for the Mariners against the Astros. 6 wins just this season against the Astros. If you swapped those 6 games, they would be in almost identical spots in the opposite. They're separated by 5 games right now. The
And
Astros,
the 5 games are the
Astros. Well, yeah, I mean they've won. So yesterday was the 6th time the Mariners have played the Astros. This is 9 straight wins because they won that 3-game series, the final one of the year, where the Astros and Mariners were jockeying for first place. They swept them at the end of last season, and now here they are. That essentially knocked Houston out of the postseason and put the Mariners in the postseason, which obviously they had the best run that the team has ever been on. This is now 6 wins this season. We are constantly hearing and discussing how the Astros are abysmal. They have a bunch of injury concerns. They have a terrible pitching staff. Their records against the rest of the league, and I know they've only played 40-some games, so it's not a huge sample size. Mariners fans, be happy that you got to play the Astros as much as you have to start this season, and do not think that the Astros are as bad as everybody is saying they are, or don't think you're as good as your record is showing, because without those 6 games, you're in opposite positions right now. So be happy, be fortunate that you're playing in the American League in 2026, because God knows what's going on there.
What is Cal Raleigh right now? He's of his last.
You
36?
watch your damn mouth. Cal Raleigh busted out of his slump last night. He had 2 hits last night. I believe he scored 2 runs last night. And his teammates were kind enough to go, "Get us that ball!" I believe the streak ended at 0 for 38. Does that make you feel better?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
I don't think it makes me feel great.
Well, let's do some in case you missed it. That'll make you feel great. In case you missed it, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander recently addressed the escalating vitriol directed at the defending champion Thunder, attributing the phenomenon to localized epidemic of envy and cognitive bias inherent to the opposing fan bases. He posited that he and his teammates have constructed their collective identity upon a framework that mimics the highly elasticized, vulcanized polymer. Meanwhile, he characterized the ideology of fans as highly elasticized, the temperament of the fans as being predominantly viscous and highly adhesive tension. Consequently, I'm screwing this whole thing up. Damn it. Consequently, regardless of the derogatory rhetoric and hateful nature of the disclosure directed at SGA and OKC, such comments are statistically certain to undergo a kinetic redirection that is intended target in a bouncing fashion that will adhere to the one that delivered said comments. He basically said, "I'm rubber, you're glue." I overwrote that thing. I was so proud of that. I was like, I should probably reread this a couple times before I try to do it on air. I ran. It
sounded like a TI monologue for a minute.
I know. It was. Listen, I wrote it all out. I was very proud of it. And then I was like, I should probably give this a run through, and never did. And that's what you get, ladies and gentlemen. In case you missed it, former NBA star Paul Pierce has boldly declared that 22-year-old Spurs phenomenon Victor Wembanyama is, quote, the most complete player in the history of the game. Wow. Bold stance, Paul. Is he saying what I think he's saying? If he is, my mind is blown. Paul, just so I don't get too excited, can I clarify real quickly? Are you suggesting that being exceptionally skilled, while being almost 8 feet tall, provides a competitive advantage in the sport of basketball? Thank you for the breakthrough. No way us lay people could have gotten there ourselves. So glad to have a basketball expert keeping an eye on things. Barf. Meanwhile, Victor Wembanyama shrugged off early trash talk from the Minnesota Timberwolves, claiming that the Timberwolves were actually actively rage baiting him. Specifically baiting him to the point of rage is rage baiting. Everyone, please calm down and get your minds out of the gutter. We're talking about professional basketball, not your search history. Grow up. In case you missed it, the San Francisco Giants outfielders have been ordered to cease a lewd post-game celebration they debuted against the Dodgers this week. Thank goodness someone's putting a stop to these godless heathens and their celebration. If you haven't seen the footage, don't. If you feel compelled that you have to view it, please follow 2 strict guidelines. Do not view it in the presence of children, and for the love of God, do not use your work computer. Just to give you an idea of the level of depravity we're talking about here, San Francisco, a city where any random Tuesday before lunch you would see some things that will make a sailor blush, officially ruled it too much. It's terrible. There's 3 guys kind of gyrating weird at each other, so not. But apparently they need to stop. How dare you celebrate in baseball? In case you missed it, the New Orleans Saints have signed undrafted wide receiver Brock Rechsteiner, who is actually the son of WWE legend Scott Big Papa Pump Steiner. Personally, I just want to see this kid make the 53-man roster so his dad can live on the sideline flexing and chest bumping with all the players after every single first down. Look, Scott is 63 now, so if you want him at his best, the Saints will obviously need to provide a place for him to rest, but the solution is super simple. Just make him a custom Saints-branded Steiner recliner. It'll be perfect. You can sit down or give him drugs. Do you think Scott Steiner would be open to performance-enhancing stimulants? Do you think we could talk him into maybe get him a pamphlet and he can look at what the benefits are, maybe. I don't know if he's considered that ever in his career. The Steiner, the younger of the Rick Steiners, said that he was only trying football and to see if he'd make it, and then he will immediately go to the WWE. Just so you know. In case you missed it, the NBA is openly defending a historic 11% spike in foul calls during this year's playoffs, arguing that the intense postseason environment, quote, naturally leads to more whistles. Only one problem. It doesn't. That's what makes it historical. An 11% differential in the pace from the regular season to the postseason would be one of the largest jumps in NBA history, marking only the 6th time in 60 years that it has eclipsed a 10% threshold. Casey, don't take the bait. As the saying goes, never argue with stupid people. They will drag you down to their level and beat you with experience. So do not. I know what they're trying to do. Not going to do it. In case you missed it, the NBC is facing heavy backlash after a hard cut from a solemn moment of silence for the late Brandon Clark and Jason Collins went straight into a high-energy DraftKings promo with Mike Tirico telling you the DraftKings starting lineups. Fans are rightfully upset that the tribute to 2 members of the NBA family was immediately followed by a pitch for sports betting. Meanwhile, DraftKings is furious that they were not allowed to sponsor the moment of silence itself. Download the app now and use the code word RIP to get $250 in bonus bets that are placed before this moment of silence. No? And finally, in case you missed it, odds makers currently favor LeBron James retiring, going to the Cleveland Cavaliers, or staying with the Los Angeles Lakers. And hey, let me give you guys a quick pro tip here. If you're going to make a bet, regardless of how you bet, Cavs, Lakers, or out of the NBA, you might want to parlay that with an exact futures bet on Bronny. Just saying. You might want to do the same thing. Show's so dumb. Thank you very much to our studio audience. At 2:30, we will play the fun game we call the subtext. We'll listen to press conference audio and try to use that to determine what is going on. But, oh man, get ready for this Daily Buzz. Listen, there's a lot of things we're going to talk about, but most importantly, how about those fire? Daily Buzz next. Happy Hour, 105.1 The Fan. What do you think? Should we get Ashanti sound effects for the Portland Fire? We've got Eddie Vedder. We've got Michael McDonald. I mean, she did do the halftime show of the first one.
I think we should.
Does she do enough moans and groans in her music?
Yes,
I'm thinking she does. I didn't know if she was getting old when she was doing the halftime show because there's plenty of that going on. But she's not, she's not as young as she once was. So maybe that's what we'll do when we talk Portland Fire. But man, they got their first win. Sarah Ashley Barker hits the buzzer beater to put the Fire on top of the Liberty. They've got them again on Thursday. If you're the Liberty, you're a long way from home. And you just got embarrassed. You thought you were going to go out and take on this expansion team and they were going to put up a fight. You just got punked. I know you don't have your superstar out there, but listen, you need to be a little bit better than that, Breanna Stewart. 4 points in the first half. That's all you got? Better bring it harder when you're coming at the Fire. Nice little win for our new WNBA team in the reboot edition of the Fire. Congratulations, ladies. Bridget Carlton, 26 points. She was 5 for 11 from deep. Carla Light, 21 points. And like I said, they absolutely shut down Breanna Stewart. So nice work, ladies.
The Buzz.
Mariners get a nice win, 10-2 over the Astros. Big shout out to Dom Canzone, who was in a 1-for-18 slump and had gone 16 games without a homer after starting the season real nice. Got his first career grand slam. And do you know what young Cal Raleigh did to get out of his hitless streak? Do you know what the slump buster was for the Mariners catcher, Casey?
What was it?
Showered with his clothes on. His teammates said, hey, you got to do something. They threw him in there, and he came back out and had a nice little base hit to break out of it. The longest streak in his major league career and the longest streak in the majors this season. He actually finished the game with 2 hits, so nice to be out of that slump.
The Buzz.
Do you know what they're giving credit for Shohei Ohtani getting out of his little slump that he was on? I don't know if you saw this, but he was on a 16-day home run drought and hit his massive blast. What gets a guy out of a cold streak? Ice cubes. Actually, Ice Cube. The rapper was being celebrated with his own bobblehead night and was on the microphone in the booth when Shohei got his home run. So if you're having a hard time in your life, if you're not doing great, things are down, not going the way expected at work, home, family life, spend a little time with Ice Cube. It'll prick things up. It's a great way to do it. So congratulations to Shohei and his new good luck charm, rapper Ice Cube.
The Buzz.
I think this is good news. I don't like really reporting on things that don't have any actual, result yet and looking forward with hope and optimism, but I've already done it multiple times on this subject. The Major League Baseball Players Association and league owners have already started to meet to negotiate the next CBA. That to me feels like a very good sign. And if we're going to have a home run chase this summer, if we're going to have all the excitement that we had last year in the postseason, if we're going to have another fantastic summer, faster games, better competition, there seems to be some parity in the league right now. Say what you want about the American League being trash and say what you want to about the National League Central not being able to maintain the pace that they're on. Fine. But through 43, 44, 45 games, whatever these guys have played so far, it's a lot closer top to bottom than it has been in recent memory. You don't have a team like the Rockies or the White Sox trying to chase the all-time worst seasons, at least to start. I think baseball's in a really good place right now. And one thing that I do not want to see is that fall apart. So good news that they're talking already.
The Buzz.
I'm going to try to get to these really quickly. There's a lot of things that happened in baseball that were kind of cool yesterday. Kyle Schwarber, 5th straight game with a home run. Zach Wheeler got through the first 3 innings of his start in only 16 pitches. That is the fewest for a 3-inning stretch since 2000. Cy Young winner Paul Skeens went 7-10 Ks and had a no-hitter going in the game. There was a little debate during the game of whether or not Willie Castro should have tried to lay down a bunt, but that was in the 3rd or 4th inning, and it didn't affect anything. So I don't think you do it in the 8th or 9th of a no-hitter when the game is out of hand. But it's early, so I think, all you old-timers, shut up! And then Bailey Ober, pitcher for the Twins. I had never heard of him, so if you know who he is, congratulations to you. He has this season's first Maddox. Do you know what a Maddox is, Casey Smith?
I do not.
Complete game in under 100 pitches. So he threw all 9 innings. He had allowed 2 hits, 7 Ks, 0 walks, and just 89 pitches. It is the first Maddox for the Twins since 2017. Anything else that we have to get to here? No, I want to get to the subtext. Let's walk over to the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk and see where the next one. I assume I already mentioned that your pitcher left with arm discomfort. I already mentioned that earlier in the show.
Yeah.
I don't want to rub in that the Yankees might be losing a pitcher. Okay. Just wanted to make
on
sure.
the fan, Holly Winterburn woke up from a Tuesday expecting to cross one major basketball milestone off her list. Well, the rookie was cut by the Atlanta Dream just hours before Tuesday's game against the Dallas Wings.
And you didn't go dream turned into a nightmare? I mean, come on. You're just being lazy.
In a post, she says, "I thought my welcome to the W moment would happen on the court, not as I'm getting on the bus for my first ever game. But that's the reality of this business, and I will always be grateful for the opportunity that Atlanta gave me. I'm built for this. Thank you to everyone who has checked in on me and sent love. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm so excited what's next."
I love that attitude, man.
She was cut right before the team left for the bus, went through the training, the stretching, feeling good, got the IV in the arm, hydrated.
Did she? She does all that before she even gets on the bus?
What is the worst way to get cut from a team? Is that it?
Yeah, and for some reason my mind keeps jumping to guys that retire at halftime during the NFL. That's happened, I think, a couple times.
Vontae Davis.
Vontae Davis is one of them, but I think another guy did it and just said, yeah,
Antonio
I'm out.
Brown?
Maybe. Yeah, he just took off all his gear and left her in the field for some reason. I don't think there's a good way to get cut. I don't know that I would want it to be on Hard Knocks. Those always feel very tough, where they will highlight 3 guys, will they, won't they make the team, and it is drug out for weeks, and you're like, well, that's the guy. Like, you see it coming 100 miles away, and it's obviously already happened, but having to relive it when your friends that don't know you got cut, because they don't know you that well, start calling you up and go, man, I just saw you got cut. Yeah, that was weeks ago. Shut up. So I think Hard Knocks is pretty brutal.
And for more sports scores and stories in 60 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
The home of the firm.
And you're in Los Angeles, where it's a weird place to be weird, but I kind of love it.
The one thing I'll say is this time of year, it's great for these young guys. You know, we have a new coaching staff here, and these guys are they just got off the field a little bit ago. You know, the time that they're spending getting to know each other and allowing our coaches to develop and grow, you know, not just the quarterbacks, but all these guys, you know, it's very precious. It's a great time of year, and especially for those young guys. And we got a new coaching staff too, and there's a lot of interacting going on, and for them getting to know each other. And so I love this time of year.
You go ahead.
Yeah, because this is the thing too, like you said, it's early in the year, younger guys wanting to get them as many reps as possible. I remember when I got a little bit more older into the NFL, OTAs and stuff, that's all good. But when it gets to training camp, that's kind of when you really want to go.
That was Omar Khan on the Debo and Joe podcast with Joe Hayden and James Harrison. But the question was about what the update on Aaron Rodgers was. Did we get an update on Aaron Rodgers in that sentence?
Was that Aaron Rodgers giving an update on Aaron Rodgers?
That was Joe Hayden at the end there.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is the only way you would get less information is if you talk to Aaron himself. I'm sorry, dude. Your Steelers are turning into God knows what. To have Tomlin walk away is understandable. It's been mediocrity for a while, but the hiring of Mike McCarthy, I can't imagine that turns out really well. A team that has an organization that has prided itself on having only 3 coaches since the late 50s, and now you have a guy that is, even if he does extremely well, is not going to be there very long. He's already, late 60s for Mike McCarthy? So you can't expect him to be there a long time. Their pattern had been find a young guy that can create the identity. Instead, you're letting it be hijacked by Aaron Rodgers. Like, the entire offseason, this is the only story. You've got 2 young quarterbacks now on the roster because you went out and drafted. I don't know what happened, but you guys are starting to look a lot more like the Browns than you are anybody else, and I do not love it for you. I don't mind it as a casual observer and sitting back and just going, cool, another train wreck in the same division. Because I would not be surprised if the Jesse Minter hire, which is the one that everybody absolutely loved, doesn't go great in Baltimore. Can you imagine having Cincinnati, Cleveland in the same division as a dysfunctional Baltimore and Pittsburgh? They could very quickly drop to the bottom of the power rankings for best divisions in football and very much turn into a bit of a disaster because Joe Burrow can't stay healthy, and we know that Cincinnati's not going to fire their coaches, but they're also not going to put a defense on the field. They're not going to win a lot of postseason games if they don't have Joe Burrow.
Or pay their players when they perform well.
Well, they've been paying offensive guys recently. I don't pay anybody on the defensive side of the ball. That division, I cannot wait to see. What was the number, 32?
32 was the number.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah, I didn't realize this was my 7th one already. No, golf course is good. It looks like the forecast is starting to clear up. So right now with it playing firm, it's playing really nice. You know, the fairways are hard to hold, and the greens have a lot of slope and a lot of pitch to them. So it's going to be challenging. And you know, if it can stay firm like this, I think it's going to be a pretty awesome test.
That was a short clip from Scotty Scheffler's PGA press conference this morning. Scotty Scheffler is your outright leader in the betting odds for favorite to win the PGA Championship. You want the top 5?
Sure, yeah. I'll take the top 5.
Scotty Scheffler sits at top.
Well, is Rory completely out of there with that toe that's about to fall off?
Rory McIlroy's at second. John Rahm is a plus 1,400. He's the third highest. Cameron Young, and then Xander Schauffele is your 5th highest betting odds.
Is Xander still without a major? Is that why people are going to be kind of rocking him? I mean, Cam Young has been on a hot streak. John Rahm
he won the PGA Championship and the Open Championship in 2024.
Oh, okay. So it's just recent history. So I don't know how I missed that, but yeah, no, I am. Did you have a question for me specifically about this?
If you could pick an outright winner right now, who would it be? Because I remember we did this for the Masters. I crafted out a little parlay. I had Scotty Scheffler, Xander Schauffele, and I believe it was Brooks Koepka all making the top 10.
Yeah, Brooks has not been the same guy as of late. The live thing is really weird for me, trying to figure out where those guys are mentally and figuring out. I don't know much about this golf course, if it favors anybody in particular, but it's hard not to bet on Scotty Scheffler, man. If he gets out there and plays well, he does not give up leads, which makes it, one of those things where by Thursday you kind of know what the results could be with that guy. Yeah, I don't really have a favorite in this field. I just want to see one of these come down to the final shot. I mean, that's really what I want. I really don't want it to be Rory just wrenching your heart back and forth where he's trying to actually lose the tournament. Those ones give me anxiety. I want to see guys making good shots at the end. And honestly, I don't care who it is. I mean, you find me one of these guys, I don't know who the most wins without a major championship are, but you throw one of those guys in the mix with somebody that's got a handful, yes, please. That's all I ever want from these tournaments is give me a reason to tune in on Sunday, give me a handful of guys to watch that can all win, and then the storytelling becomes part of it, and that's what I love.
I think I might have to bet on Justin Rose again. If that's the mentality, he's only got one.
He's just got the one.
2013 U.S. Open.
But he's also got the Masters is funny with Justin Rose because he's got more top 10 finishes at that course.
Top 5 finishes.
Well, there you go. So, I mean, he's always seems to be right in it, but just cannot figure out how to win the whole thing. So, yeah, it should be a fun one. Speaking of which, I think I've got a pretty fun little one more for the road. We'll do it next. It's Happy Hour 105.1 and the Fan Sports Network.
The new home.
If you missed anything from this show, past shows, future shows, find the podcast at 1051thefan.com, Odyssey.com, the Odyssey app, or instead of T-shirts, the Portland Fire will have our podcast on the back of your seat at tomorrow night's game against the New York Liberty. Get your tickets now. What are people saying that we need to address? Lowercase.
How long until Harbaugh drops the Dockers for capri pants and the South Beach shades? Joins the McDaniel.
Yeah, no, I don't think. I mean, if they were in Miami, I'd be down with that. But
I think McDaniel will go the other way.
Yeah. Oh no, if he shows up wearing high-waisted khakis, oh man, I would love that. That would be fantastic. Yes, he's more of the chameleon, so I think they've got it backwards there, Texter. Should we do? One more. All week, I told you, I think the Mariners need to call up some young guys. Instead, they're going to go with a 6-man rotation. I have no idea if these moves will work or not, but I told you yesterday that they described the Mets' move to bring up prospect A.J. Ewing, who I believe is 21 years old. They called it desperate. Did you see what the young man did in his Major League debut yesterday?
No, I did not.
He was walked 3 times, stole a base, got a triple, and had multiple RBIs. He is the first Major League Baseball debut to have that kind of stat line since at least 1900. A triple, 3 walks, multiple RBIs, and a steal. Now, you may know this. One of my big pet peeves is when people report on sports, give me the historical data, the comps to it. So if nobody has done it since 1900, why not? I will tell you why not. They did not record stolen bases accurately until 1898. Any extra base was often credited as a stolen base. So if you were to get a double, it would be a single with a stolen base. And that doesn't make any sense.
That doesn't make any sense.
Well, listen, things didn't make a ton of sense there. But I was considering putting this in that stupid joke segment that we do earlier in the show. And so I started searching the internet for funny 1900-era names. And I don't know how often you do this, but if you've never done it, it is a very fun exercise. Some of the best names of players around the 1900s. There was a pitcher named Cannonball Titcomb.
Again, a lot of adjectives before their first name.
I'll tell you, Boiler Yard Clark was a catcher back in the day. There was a guy named Chicken Wolf. How about Pickles Dillhofer? There was a deaf player. He played center field, and his nickname was Dummy Hoy. Cupid Childs. Phenomenal Smith.
They called the guy dumb for just being...
Well, dumb is, you don't speak. They had a guy named Buttermilk Hill. Some great names. High Pockets Kelly, Icebox Chamberlain, Possum Witted, Snuffy Sternwise, Old Hoss Radborn. It would have been great. I didn't need to do it. I figured it'd be a good one for the road. Thank you to everybody that listened. Thank you, Casey Smith. And, of course, thank you, Isaac Ropp. We're all done for now. Bye-bye.